Hey everybody, and welcome back to the absolute last episode of Harmstead. Now this village is finally complete and I am super pumped about everything, so just without further ado, let's just move on straight to the video. Okay guys, so this video is a little shorter because it really doesn't need a lot of explaining or exploring. Now, the village was pretty much complete with the previous episode, so this final episode focused mainly on some small farming plots and the Daedric entity shrine above the village. Now, I told you that I would get it done, so I absolutely had to complete it. I mean, you know, what kind of YouTuber would I be if I don't actually do what I'm supposed to do? Anyways, most of you know the backstory of the village, but I wanted there to be a physical representation of the entity because it's not very spooky or anything if there's really nothing to look at. Now, that's why the small open temple, or in this case, like a super evil gazebo, rests along the mountain overlooking the village in a menacing manner. Now, most travelers would look at the structure and think it's just an older design from days past, but they would be sorely mistaken. Now, this evil gazebo houses the entity which is mercilessly selfish and hungry for physical belongings as well as control over Harmstead's population. This entity, known as Storeth the Demon of Hunger, has resided in this location for many millennia and will continue to do so until the will of Harmstead's people becomes unworthy to him. So essentially, if they're of no use to him and they just can't really sustain him per se, then he's going to move on. Now, the village looks peaceful, it looks beautiful from afar, but of course, venture too close and you might just become another prisoner of the demon's hold. Now, that's pretty much just about it, so if you like my content, you enjoy these videos, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, comment below. It helps the channel and it makes YouTube realize that we're actually doing something really cool. So anyways, here's a little bit of music. It's going to be a very short time lapse and I'll meet you again very quickly. Alright everybody, so here we are at the beginning where we had our little bit of farmlands, and I'm not going to go into too much detail here because obviously like there's really not much to it. Just look at those mountains, they look so cool in the fog. Anyways, this is the first farmland, so here's a path coming through, and I haven't done a full gradient on it, but here we have it. So you can see here, of course, we have tons of different things. So these are potatoes, barley, and there was one other thing, turnips. Yes, potatoes, barley, and turnips. And even though they don't really grow together in real life, I just wanted to make them all together because it looks really good having the different layers of crops and having the different heights. I just think it works out really well. And then of course we have a little bit of like cart, like where they're hauling it, harvesting it, and moving it out of the village. But this is just one of the farmlands, and you can see here, of course, lots of wall gradients, lots of different variations in height and structure and everything. So we have that, and then here we have the second one closest to the village, closest to everything here. But yeah, I mean, once again, it's just, I look at it and I think it's really cool. It's a very beautiful thing. I mixed up the farmland. Instead of just having farmland, I mixed up like some brown gravel, I mixed up some additional blocks to add some, like, this is mud, but it just added a little bit of better texture than just straight up farm blocks, and I think it came out really, really well. I'm really happy with this. But you can see here, you come up this little pathway here, and we move on to this part, which is the backside of pretty much the weavers building. And you can just see here, once again, same thing. So like I said, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about the farmland. It just looks really cool, and we're going to leave it exactly at that. But what we will do is we will travel back this way, and we will move on. So the temple is actually in a nice little spot. You can't really see it too well. We're going to take this path down here, and what we're going to do is we're going to cross down here. It's almost like a little miniature tour of the place, so I kind of like it. And you can see it off there in the distance, but we're going to cross over the bridge. We are going to go around here, and where this path was not, it is now the path is now here. And as you can see here, I did lots of decorating, lots of natural stuff, added some trees, added some wattle fencing, added some boulders. Here you can see some old pillars, almost like the monolithic structure that we had earlier, just slightly smaller in scale. Looks really cool in my opinion. We have this winding path up here. You can see, like, in certain spots I have small little, you know, details kind of tucked away in the grass and the woods here, just to kind of add a little bit to it. And, you know, like over there you can see some stuff, but this is the little temple, and I'm really happy with it. So the road comes across, the path comes across here, and it just winds on up the side of the mountain, and here is the temple itself. So I'm gonna do a fly around so you can see everything shortly, but this is the interior. So obviously this demon is very much about nature, because it helps him with, you know, the medicinal plant that grows in here and everything in the water. So I wanted to take a natural kind of theme with this, and credit does go to Belle, who is a community member, and she kind of helped me with the design of this temple. She was like, hey, look, put some pillars down, kind of make it open. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna roll with that. So I did, and this was the result. So we have this like shrine here. You can see they're offering all their excess goods, not just food, but money, materials. There would be animal hides and stuff like that too, but I just couldn't find a good place to put them. And then of course this is, you know, almost like a representation of the demon, even though it's just like a moose antler. But, you know, either way, take it for what it is. Okay, this is how it works. But I want to show you more than anything the outside. So you can see here we have the tree coming up through the altar. It's almost like supporting parts of the actual structure, and it's coming up from the top here. And of course we have some dead branches, some dead bushes, things like that really tie it in together. And then of course it's been here for so long, you can see bits of it are breaking off. It's worn down, it's a little beat up, although it is still very structurally sound and still very, very strong in a magical type of element. So yeah, this is the altar. Like I said, really like it, really like the temple, really like the whole thing. Like I said, it's like an evil gazebo, and that's pretty much that. So anyways, here is the flyover. So once again, we added this whole extra bit to Harmstead. I think it looks really, really good. And then the path leading down, and then of course we have the farmlands over here. But this is the true like flyover of Harmstead here. Now that it is finally complete, everything is done. I may add a little bit more like landscaping, but really and truly for the most part the village is complete, and I absolutely could not be happier. Very happy with the way this 2.0 version turned out. It looks absolutely phenomenal, and to me it looks really, really good nestled in this small little area tucked in with the mountains. So yeah, definitely super excited about what comes next. I already have a new episode of Mainland Fell in the works, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be really cool. I hope you like my skulk sensor. I think that's what this is. It looks really cool. I almost look like an evil bandit. But anyways, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Once again, if you like the content, just, you know, subscribe, do all that stuff. Thank you to all my Patreons and my YouTube members. I really appreciate you. Your names are up here. You do help support me and the server, so thank you so much. But this is Ledger Porpoise signing off. I hope all of you have a good day, happy gaming, and I'll catch you again for the next one.